So, good morning, friends. Once again, I welcome you back on this class of video lecture, and this is BA Part 2nd, English Literature, and we have been doing paper 2nd, Poetry and Drama. And friends, for last couple of days, we have been doing a very famous poem written by Thomas Gray, Elegy written in a country churchyard. So in our last class we did stanza number 15. I read out that stanza. Some village Hamden that with dauntless breast the little tyrant of his fields withstood. Some mute inglorious Milton here may rest. Some Cromwell guiltless of his country's blood. So friends, this is all about a sort of discourse regarding the opportunities, regarding the required platform for show of knowledge and learning, a sort of a display of opportunities which is many times denied to those who are poor, who do not have resources in their lives. So it is probable that in this churchyard is buried some village farmers who had the spirit to resist the tyrants, the merciless tyrants, the local landlords, as boldly as Hamden fought. Or perhaps here lies buried some villagers who had the genius of a great poet like Milton, but who, for want of opportunity, wrote no poems and so remained obscure. Or again, some villager who had great military genius like Cromwell, but who, unlike Cromwell, was free from the sin of having caused the death of large numbers of his countrymen in a civil war. So this is stanza number 15. Already we have done it. Now we let us come today stanza number 16. The applause of listing senates to command, the threads of pain and ruin to despise, to scatter plenty over a smiling land and read their history in a nation's eyes. Their obscure destiny, unidentified destiny. Whose destiny? The villagers who are buried here. Their obscure destiny prevented them from becoming great political orators. This is very important, you know, since they could never come to the forefront. They could never come to the front line of politics, of power. The applause of listing senates to command. So they could never become great orators. They could never become great politicians, great men of powerful portfolios, though they had caliber. Their obscure destiny prevented them from becoming great political orators whose speeches the national assemblies of their country listened to with admiration. Yes, they could never attain such fame, name, and opinion, just as popular readers, when they speak in the parliament, the whole nation listens to them and they win a lot of applaud on the part of the public, on the part of the masses. They could never attain that popularity, that fame, that name, which is often acknowledged in society. Likewise, they never became heroes or martyrs. Yes, who are acknowledged, who are admired, who are praised and appreciated in this society. The heroes are appreciated, the martyrs, the great men, the statesmen, the public figures, the writers, the Nobel laureates, the knights, the warriors, the brave people. When we read about Macbeth, there are many references of bravery in Shakespearean tragedies. So, this is that society, this is that world where noble virtues are appreciated, where nobility is acknowledged, about that literatures are written, rhymes are composed, poetry is written. But who will write about these people who are lying obscured? Right? They could never become great authorities. Likewise, they never became heroes or martyrs who, in their devotion to duty or to truth, remained uninfluenced by fear of death or torture, confiscation or banishment. For the same reason, they never became great administrators who, by their benevolent measures, conferred peace and prosperity on their country and made their countrymen look happy and contented. This, yes, polity is greatly taken as one of the most important arenas of life, because polity determines everything. Politics determines everything. Politics and polity determine contentment of people, determine peace and happiness of people, determine almost all the affairs of the state, all the social institutions, all the cultural institutions are determined, regulated, controlled by polity. In fact, polity happens to be the key figure of society. All human affairs, all human business revolve around polity. And in this stanza, poet Gray underscores the significance of polity. Right? Here he is giving the reference of Senate, he is giving the reference of Parliament, he is giving the reference of politicians, the heroes, martyrs, soldiers. All important aspects of human life, particularly of polity, have been included in this stanza. And the pain of the poet is this, that looking to the limitation of time and space and opportunities, these people could never attain that status, could never attain that role which is responsible for applaud on the part of the masses. So the tone of the poem is very pathetic. Who do not want to become great person in the eyes of public? Everyone. But it requires a sort of process, it requires a sort of journey. And in the journey of becoming great persons, there has been a want of resources, right? There has been a want of exposure. So there obscure, as I again give you a sort of explanation of this stanza, but before I read that stanza, you memorize this stanza. The applause of listening senates to command. There comes the reference of Senate, the Parliament. The threats of pain and ruin to despise, to scatter plenty over a smiling land, and read their history in a nation's eyes. Very beautiful lines composed by Gray. Their obscure identity, their obscure destiny, prevented them from becoming great political orators. Oratory has been one of the very important part in public speeches. If one is an orator, if one is an eloquent speaker, if one can hold the attention of the masses with the help of his tongue. In Julius Caesar, Mark Antony gives the best speech at the end of the play. Lend me your ears, O captains, colonels. Like this, the final scene goes in Julius Caesar. You will read Julius Caesar in previous. So you people are supposed to study some of the best plays written by Shakespeare. The four tragedies: Othello, Macbeth, King Lear, Hamlet. These are the four tragedies written by Shakespeare, and some of the comedies like The Twelfth Night, As You Like It, Midsummer's Night's Dream, like this, and true love tragedies, that is Antony and Cleopatra and Romeo and Juliet. So if you read around 10 plays written by Shakespeare, then you naturally and obviously make a very powerful background of literature, and you naturally get prepared for NET examination, because in NET examination there comes many questions from these Shakespearean plays, these Shakespearean tragedies. There may occur some quotation, there may occur some references of places, there may occur questions on scenes, incidents and events, on relations, on political affairs, right, and on quotations. So quotations make a large part, large amount, right? So I again repeat this stanza. Their obscure identity prevented them from becoming great political orators, whose speeches the national assemblies of their country listened to with admiration. Likewise, they never became heroes, knights, soldiers, warriors who fight on behalf of the nation, and when they win the battles, they naturally get a room in literatures, in poetry, in rhymes. Inscriptions are written on their success. Rhymes are written, anthems are written in their praise and appreciation. The history is full of the history of heroes. The history is the history of heroes. The history is not the history of subalterns, of common people, of ordinary soldiers. It is the history of commanders. It is the history of captains, heroes, martyrs, right? So the poet gives the references of heroes and martyrs who in their devotion to duty, who in their devotion to truth remained uninfluenced by fear of death or torture, who remained uninfluenced. That's why they are heroes. Otherwise they couldn't be called heroes, right? Confiscation. This is very good word, confiscation or banishment. For the same reason, they never became great administrators, bureaucrats, managers, who by their benevolent measures conferred peace and prosperity on their country and made their countrymen look happy and contented. A country functions on two parts, on two fronts. One is the front of army, and another front functions inside the country, that is a proper management of country. And what is the best management of a country? That is the best management of a country which can render peace and contentment to their citizens. So this could be done on behalf of administrators, bureaucrats, civil servants, countrymen, statesmen. Right? So today we have done this stanza, that is stanza number 16. Thank you, friends.